them come. This is their fate.
Get my Birdman hands in there. All right. Welcome back to the House of Wolves podcast. I'm your host, Deontay. Here are my near and dear friends, Jalen and Josh. Today we got quite a bit to talk about, per usual, with the RDNA 4 keynote or meeting or whatever you want to call that event. But they unleashed the 9070 and 9070 XT on NVIDIA, and I got some thoughts. Split Fiction reviews are coming in. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 childhood. 5070 has underwhelming results as all expected. Monster Hunter doing crazy numbers, and then Assassin's Creed still coming around the bend looking pretty decent. But we got more and more to talk about even beyond that. So before we get started, per usual, Jalen, Josh, tell the people how you been, what you been up to, how's life going, what you been playing, how's the family, and the plans coming up. Talk to the people.
Yeah, I guess I'll take it. So far this week has been pretty chill. Just getting caught up on mostly family stuff. Cause my wife was out of town for a few days, so I was taking care of the baby by myself, with grandma's help, of course. But we did a decent job.
Mm-hmm.
But mom's back, so we're getting her acclimated back to family life and also this time zone. Her trip was good. Went out to Dubai, got to see the desert, got to see different culture
Yeah.
and try different food. Had a enjoyable experience, but she's happy to be home, back, to see us, but also be what she where she's familiar.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so we picked her up on Saturday from the airport, and it was really late at night because I don't know, the flight just got in late, but it was safe, with all
Good.
these flights
Yeah.
issues going on, a lot of thoughts going through everybody's head.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, mom got home safe. We spent the weekend just chilling, and then went back to work this week. As far as our future plans, we're hoping to, I guess, do some family related, like just chill event, because there's a lot of like like performances for kids. Like they have like their favorite show, and then they have a live
Yeah.
performance. There's one for Anpanman, which is like a kids anime that's very popular about like food related characters. We're thinking about trying to go out to the Anpanman Museum, which is out in Kobe,
Mm-hmm.
which is I guess like an hour from where we live, and then just hang out in the city because Kobe is a very nice port town, and they're famous for their beef. You might hear or see on the Japanese menu Kobe beef, or like it's just they're really famous for their style of beef.
Okay.
Um, but we're hoping to do that sometime in March, and it's also gonna be sakura season, or here we call it hanami. So the cherry blossoms going to be blooming soon. It's just the timing is like it usually lines up on like 1 week. You
Mm-hmm.
got to catch it before they're all like start to fall. Because right last week it was super cold and windy, and we were actually getting a little bit of snow sometimes. And then this week it's warmer, around 50 degrees, but it's raining a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully that means the flowers and stuff will be blooming within another week or so. Hopefully the weather is okay, so you can go out and have picnics and stuff like that. Uh, but yeah, so far doing plannings with the family for spring. As far as video games and media, I haven't played a whole lot. Still working my way through Knights of the Old Republic 1.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna finish that hopefully soon. I was thinking of jumping right into the second game, but I might take a detour to play Jade Empire, which is another Bioware game, but it's like a Chinese like kung fu mythology inspired game
Mm-hmm.
from BioWare, which I never played, but we'll see. But anyways, I'm enjoying KOTOR. I like the side characters or like the party members because I think that's what BioWare does best in most of their games. And yeah, I have not bought Monster Hunter Wilds, but we'll talk
Oh,
about that later.
okay. Um. Well, cool. What about you, Jalen? What you been up to? What you been doing?
So for me, same old, working out, still on my 183-day challenge,
What day you on?
working towards that. Uh, I think yesterday was day 33.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yesterday was day 33. Yeah, so I'm trading along. Um, yeah, yesterday was day 33. So I'm trading along with that. I'm starting to run. The weather is breaking a little bit, so I did run outside for a little bit. I was gonna try to run today, but it's raining and stuff, so I was kind of overly cooked. But just trying to make sure I'm ready for the Shamrock Show that's coming up on March 23rd. Excited about that. But that's really about it as far as like events and things like that.
You still ain't
Guess I'll
found no
probably go to
game.
Japan soon. Huh?
You still ain't find no game.
Not really. I'm not
Mm.
gonna lie to you. I bought Lethal Company yesterday. No, I was playing.
Lethal Company.
How's that? Yeah.
You serious?
Yes, I was playing Lethal Company yesterday for like I was playing with Richard, Corey, and Devin for like man, we was probably playing that mug for at least like 3 hours. Bro. I'm like, man, this game is crazy, bro. Like,
Isn't that the
I'm
one
like,
where you kind of walk around and like two people become like the enemy, the killers, and then y'all got like bombs and stuff like that? I think that's the game.
nah, it's like it's a survival game where you like
Oh
I think basically the
yeah.
premise of the game
Never
is you
mind.
hire yeah.
I think I was thinking of
Sell some trash,
something
buy trash.
protocol. I was thinking about something else. Sorry. Stop stepping on you. Go ahead.
Okay. But no, it's just a game where you just basically go out into places, one of the little PC games where you helpless pretty much for the most part. And you just go into places and like dungeons, like randomly generated dungeons on different planets and pick up trash and gotta beat the quota to make a certain dollar amount by the certain day. Otherwise they just kick you off the ship and you just die in space. So I mean pretty stupid premise. So I mean it's like little monsters or aliens and the game it's just funny, bro. Like, um, I mean, it's cool for what it was. I only paid like $10 for it, so but they're trying to tell me to get it because I was trying to play Remnant, and that game was kind of making me a little sleepy. It's playing it because it was like one enemy. I'm like, bro, I'm having visions of Destiny Strikes, bro. They be shooting people and running out of ammo. And he be like, "What you doing, bro?" I ain't doing nothing, just shooting up the enemy because he got 1,000 health bars. Like, he be like, "You still shooting him?" Yeah, ain't much of a, just dodging his attacks and keep shooting them. So
Mm-hmm.
it is a lot of that is going on with Remnant. I mean, I don't think Remnant that bad though. I mean, I could potentially play it, but Lethal Company, it's fun for what it is. I mean, I want to say like recommend this game 10 out of 10. It's just when you got the right people and just odd stuff happening. Like I'm over here controlling a computer or something like that, the terminal, and then I guess it's a monster on there that he can't he can't see you, but he can hear you. So if I'm talking, I'm playing on my Steam Deck. If I'm talking, the mic picking up that I'm talking, and he'll just gonna get me. But like Richard is like, "Hey, be quiet." Like he had yelled that because we on Discord because he heard from a ways, and it got proximity voice chat too. He heard it.
Uh-huh.
He like, I was like, "Oh shoot, let me just stop talking," because I heard the footsteps, like the stumping, and I'm
Uh-huh.
thinking he by Richard. Man, I turned around, he walking on the ship like, yeah, bro. Didn't he hit a U-turn when I stopped talking? I'm just like, and I can't talk to them no more because I don't got no way to silence my Steam Deck to not pick up the audio. But I'm still on Discord with them trying to communicate. But I'm like, I can't talk right now, bro. Like, otherwise, he gonna come back on his mug and come get me. Like, y'all just gotta figure it out. But I want to tell him to not come on the ship because he right there. Like, so it's just it's just a little funny game to play and stuff like that. So it's a cool little $10. So I hop back on that one. So that and then like I said before, I was playing Remnant. So that's pretty much it on the game tip. And then I'm supposed to go to Japan sometime soon. So probably like the second week of April.
Gotcha.
I'm just waiting for Josh to text me back. So
Oh my god, we bringing no personal problems to the pod.
I
Nah,
He
never
texted
text
me in the middle
somebody
of the
back, bro.
night. That's all.
Man, I remember I texted this man like a couple of days, like, yeah, what up, though? It's too late, bro.
Hey, that time zone be cooking on it.
I get it, bro. I ain't tripping it, though. It ain't that. It's not that perfect. So
Gotcha. Well, it looks like I don't have this game, or maybe it was something else. I think it was like Lockdown Protocol. I think that was the one that was giving everybody away for free or something like that. I don't remember, but it's kind of similar to it, but the gameplay is definitely more so. I don't know, just look, it's different, I guess. Kind of like got the same type of, you're on a spaceship, you're trying to do jobs, but people are trying to hurt you. Yours is a little bit different of a concept, so. But
yeah, little stupid games, little indie games,
yeah,
type,
yeah, both of them $10.
Yeah.
But okay, well, for me, I've been working on creating like some form of like one one button press, getting to like going from PC gaming to couch mode. That's what I'm trying to do. So I'm setting up some HDMI switches, scripting some stuff to try to get it to the point where I hit one button and now I have like a console like experience on my PC. So that's what I've been trying to do over the last like a day, not that long, but rest of my time was spent on a variety of games. I bought games again that I had before. I went back to Returnal to try to see if there was like a different lens of, I don't like this game for me expecting it to be something different, or if it's just a bad game. I don't think it's a bad game, so I have been playing a few of the biomes and trying to just complete that game because I left it like halfway through. So I went back to Returnal, and then I had got some pretty good deals on some physical games for the PS5. Um, so yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what I've been doing. I haven't had anything else that I've been like excited to play yet. Like I kind of fell off a little bit of Avowed, even though I didn't give it enough time. I kind of fell off of Kingdom Come, and maybe it's not falling off. It's just I ain't had time yet to go back and play that type of game. So because I like both of them. It's just that it's like I don't really have the time to sit down and like just play it. So it is becoming a little bit more of a basically it's just something that I need to kind of actually focus in on to finish up some of these some of these games. But I've just been messing around with other stuff and doing other things that I ain't really had the time to sit down and focus on it. I did get to the part where am I at in Metaphor, where we found out about the I don't know if the queen in on it yet, but we just rescued the mouse. I don't even know what his name is. And we didn't rescue him. Heisman, yes, that's his name. We didn't rescue him, but we basically were looking for him, and now we're at a point now where we're still discovering some other stuff. So that's where I'm at in Metaphor, but not to give too much away because I don't think Josh played it yet. But yeah, been playing a bunch of different games, to be honest, over the last week. But that's pretty much it. Family still good, job still good. Everything else is good. I've been working out. I told y'all this. But I don't know if I told you the pod, but I have been working out. Maybe I just told Jalen. I have been working out as well, trying to like literally I only get 5 hours of sleep a day now. It's kind of crazy. I wake up every morning around 6:30. I work out and then I go to work, and I don't go to sleep till like 1 a.m. It's kind of crazy. And then I still get up and do it because I'm having so much energy from working out in the morning that, like, honestly, I don't fall asleep during the day. And I have been fine with 5 hours of sleep. So I have been able to get more done, but I have been getting less sleep. Like, I literally go to sleep at 1 a.m., wake back up at 6:30. It's kind of crazy. But I've been doing it, and I don't think that's healthy. But I don't know why. I just feel way more energized after I work out, and I think a lot of people do. But once you get that energy, it's like I can't go back to sleep until like I finish up the rest of my stuff, and then by the time I'm actually looking at it, I'm not tired yet, and then I just stay up to like 1. So, not sure if it's a great benefit of working out, but it is something that has changed in my daily routine. That's been happening for the last 2 weeks. So,
Yeah, what workouts you be doing? Nah, just like
don't disrespect me, King. Don't disrespect me, King.
hey, boys got to rain on somebody's prayer. Like, man, you don't even be working out for real. You know, you just like, and they gonna say so. We gonna say so for you doing the right thing, bro. Like,
bro,
you really be on time, bro.
I swear, if I wasn't working out at least to a certain extent, it would probably it'll probably be like, I guess I never felt like this type of energy, but it's not that I'm saying that this is a growing or like a I don't know, this a sign off or now I can't remember the freaking word. I'm not saying that this is actually going to benefit everyone or is helpful for everyone or useful for everyone. Maybe people think it's a gimmick, but I literally just been boxing the entire time using that app on on Meta Quest, and it's called Supernatural. And literally, I just box for a very long time, and they have like different combinations and things that you have to do. And they have a coach that's telling you what to do and to pushing you. But literally, I just been doing that, and it's like variations between different modes and different things you can do. But it is intense, and I like it that way because it just, I guess, keeps pushing me to kind of go faster, and it actually gives me some motivation to actually do something. But literally, I'm just boxing, shadow boxing, nothing in the middle of my basement, and that's it. That's literally what I've been doing, and then I like mix in. I do some. I bought this thing that allows me to kind of do like stairmaster steps, like in a stationary position, so I can do that while I'm at work. And then I do like crunches and things like that for more so ab building. But that's it. I ain't doing much else. I'm like, that's pretty much the workout, but it takes around like 30 to 40 minutes a day of my time to kind of do it. And I only been eating at like certain periods of time. So, but between those two combinations, I lost like 6 pounds, but that's like water weight. I'm trying to actually maintain a solid, approach to my, I guess, training or whatever you want to call it, because it does feel like I'm literally just dieting correctly or doing something different there, and it kind of loses that certain amount of pounds that I always fluctuate in between, but it's not really gaining anything. So I'm trying to figure out a way to continue that and actually do something beneficial. But it ain't like super crazy. I'm like, I don't have to I don't have to go to a gym, because there's certain things that this program is allowing me to get that I didn't used to have before anyway, which is somebody that's kind of like telling you to kind of keep going and motivating you, instead of me just sitting there, like, I wouldn't say alone, but it's kind of like I am still alone, but it's kind of like something that keeps you motivated. So I'm gonna get off that tangent, but basically it is helping in that way. I don't know how helpful it'd be for everybody else, but it's helpful for me.
Excellent.
But let's move on to our first topic. I want to talk about RDNA 4. And a lot of the stuff that came out with this, or at least the information that came out, I thought was pretty beneficial. Thought it was pretty cool to see. But I guess the key parts, I'm gonna start first. Before I go into my little tangent per usual, did anybody else see any RDNA 4 stuff? Anybody else see the new cards, graphics cards? Anybody in the market for a graphics card?
Probably Jalen, but
Figure me out.
He got one that he ain't using, so
probably not. Man, the way the approach to gaming is going, it feels like everybody should own a PC in some way, shape, or form anyway. But this 9070 and 97 XT, I guess the most beneficial thing about this is that they are very competitive on pricing, and Nvidia is not really doing so well with the public perception and actually having cards available. So those two things are coming into the benefit of AMD. There's a lot more to criticize on AMD's side as well, but let's not focus on that. Let's focus on the good things that I saw that come out of there. And the good things that I saw, one, the 9070 is $550, and then the 9070 XT is $600, respectfully. The $50 difference does not equate to a good approach to wanting that 9070 card to be desirable, because it is a little significantly like it's not underperforming, but it's not as performative as this $50 difference would get you. So it really doesn't make sense for them to be so close in pricing. But at least the 9070 XT is a really great value.
Excuse me.
Both of them
Pretty,
are.
how you doing?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, the 9070 XT and the 9070 are both like very close in pricing, but I think that the 9070 XT is still providing a better overall package. Now, the difference between the two isn't like it's not as if that $50 is making up the difference. People are going to lean more towards the 9070 XT, and that's the problem that I see happening here, is that the 9070 might be overshadowed simply due to the fact that they're so close in pricing. And I don't know if that was on purpose, or maybe they just adjusted it, because maybe it should have been 500 and that would have made more sense. But again, back to the positive, the actual FSR4, they were showing FSR4 working within games, being compared to native 4K resolution. And I honestly never thought I'd see the day where, FSR4 was showcasing in a way that make it look as performative and as good as DLSS or even native implementation. I didn't think that they ever would be able to improve upon the image enough to actually showcase the benefits of why DLSS or why FSR is beneficial. But they did do that, and I think that's obviously all to the AI and what they're using in order to get those results. They also produced a path tracing video, which is the toy shop. It did not perform so well, and honestly, it did make me feel like they still have a very much so long way to go. But it does tell me at least that they're putting the focus back on the things that people are, knocking them for. That's what I liked. I liked the fact that they weren't like scared to showcase that, hey, we might be behind, but we're still trying to be competitive, on price, and we're trying to give you the bang for the buck in regards to, what those feature sets people are asking for nowadays. So I like their messaging. It was very clear and concise. It wasn't really all over the place. It was honestly, we're going to stick to these types of cards. We're going to stick to this price point, and we're going to try to give the best performance you can at this price. And I thought that was cool. As someone that owns a 7900 XTX, I do not feel like this is something that I would want to jump into yet. I feel like the next generation of cards is where I would want to begin to really take advantage of the benefits of the FSR4 and more performative cards, because I am looking for more of a 4K 120 experience, maybe overall 4K 60 with ray tracing. And I don't believe these cards are going to be able to do what I'm looking for at this point in time. So it really wouldn't be, it would be a half step for me to kind of upgrade to these for the FSR4 experience, when my raster performance today is pretty decent enough to kind of run games at a decent rate with 4K 60 ray tracing, not 4K 120. So my expectation is that these cards are going to be very performative and pretty decent with the performance mode of FSR4, but they're not going to be like as great with like full ultra at the 4K to get past those numbers that I'm expecting. We'll see though. Like it can be just as good, and with games being relatively easy on the path with what they have with the API for FSR. I'm hoping that the path to upgrading games from FSR 3.1 or 3.2, maybe 3.1 to FSR 4 is easier and less restricting, and we get more games in under the ecosystem that can use and take advantage of these new feature sets. Yeah, to me, it was a good showing. To me, it helped bring competition back to the market, and hopefully, these individuals or AMD is not lying when they say they have actual cards available. I really hope that it's not just a paper launch and that we're actually not getting anything useful. I'm really hoping that they actually deliver on both fronts, where the price is correct, because they're not making a reference card, so you can have some fluctuation there with these aftermarket cards that's not actually coming from AMD. They can mark it up all they want. Is it going to really be the MSRP or not? And then availability. So that's yet to be seen. But from now where I'm sitting, I am pretty proud of like the performance that they shown, and I'm pretty proud of the price point that they fell to. I think that those are both good things, and it shows that there is some competition out here, and there is some hope for the consumer. But what were your thoughts, or both either you or Jalen thoughts on the keynote, or whether if you haven't seen it, any thoughts around the FSR performance, or things like that, the price point?
Yeah, I think that I'm honestly surprised that the FSR performance has been improving so quickly, because originally when I used like FSR2, I just hated every uh, aspect of it. Like, yeah, it improved your frame rate, but you sacrifice so much. But it's cool to see that they are actually making good strides,
Yeah.
because if they're able to keep doing this, or maybe these cards are actually very good, then the competition necessary to put pressure on Nvidia will be good. For me, I do like ray tracing, and I do like the just NVIDIA's upscaling implementation a little bit more. But if AMD is still able to offer a competitive price point while having most of the features, it'll be good, worth it. But I think the ray tracing is still the biggest weakness. I know that NVIDIA, I guess you would say, cheats in order to get the great performance that they have. It's just that, when you compare apples to apples, at least, or maybe apples to oranges in this case, NVIDIA is offering ray tracing at a much higher level than you can get on AMD card. Um,
Mm-hmm.
for a lot of people, that will be a big difference that justifies paying more money for an NVIDIA card. But I just want to see more stuff like this from the RDNA 4 showcase. And plus, I think that the Steam Deck has shown me that in other spaces, the AMD, I think, is doing a lot more for the industry hardware wise, that will see benefits in other spaces, for consoles, for handhelds, for laptops. Um, and I don't think that NVIDIA is having the same sort of impact.
No, they basically never do well in power consumption to performance. It's always seems as if they're overclocking or something of that nature. And I have noticed that trend of it's just getting worse, or temperatures wise, power consumption wise. It is these Blackwell cards are just, they're running very powerful AI, and I think that just takes more power and juice. So Definitely performance to power. Like AMD has always crushed it, and I think that they're going to continue to do that as we kind of see what it takes to kind of scale down chips and things like that to kind of get to these greater APUs and things like that to be able to run these games on smaller and less power hungry hardware. So I'm looking forward to it. I think AMD is on the right track. But only time will tell with these companies. Like again, Nvidia can come out next year swinging and kind of bring both a new evolution to multi-frame gen, or even some new evolution to latency of these cards, to the point where 4x multi-frame generation is actually feasible and it works well. So you never know. It's just kind of like where you want to kind of put your eggs, because one basket, they're both working on the same basket now. They were both working in that same basket. They're in the same boat. AI. It's just one other's approach to AI is a little bit more aggressive, and more so this is the approach we want to take to future gaming, and then the others is kind of like a dibbling dabbling in both sides. And I still want good performance without the significant tick up in power consumption or something like that. I want optimization. So I don't know which one's better right now, to be honest. I think that each approach will get us to a better space in the PC gaming market regardless. So looking forward to it, definitely. And real quick, I could just add this in here because it's kind of right in line. The 5070 is not doing so hot. It's not the revolutionary card where it had matches performance on the 4090. It is use cases where you can have performance where you see that. I was watching Digital Foundry's video, and they were talking about how you should definitely check it out. It's a pretty good review, but the 5070 in some games can have pretty decent latency and match the 4090's performance, but most of the time it is not as performative as a 4090. And again, this is talking about multi-frame, 4x multi-frame generation compared to maybe frame gen, just one frame gen on the 4090. So very different use cases and scenarios. But to my next point, I don't know if people care, because let's talk about Monster Hunter and how 1.4 million concurrent players was on Steam, and this game has sold 8 million copies of this game, and this game is like runs terrible on these PCs. Like it's not a joke. People are literally optimizing their game for them. There's mods coming out to help with this. People were talking about some weird config file where you might have a typo that can give you performance, but other people are saying that's just a lie. You can't do that. That's not how it works. So it's just a bunch of stuff going on around this Monster Hunter Wilds. But the biggest thing that popped out to me is that ain't slow none of you folks down. Everybody complaining online. Everybody talking about how, poor optimization, poor this, poor that. They sold 8 million in 3 days. That is a lot of copies to be selling on a game that everybody is complaining about performance on. That gives me more grace for that 5070. Maybe y'all actually don't care about latency. Maybe y'all don't care about multi-frame. Y'all may just care about actually being able to play the game, because it seems like whatever they put out, y'all ate it up and without any recourse. And I'm glad to report that Josh did not buy yet, but I don't know if he's holding out for what right now. But let's talk about it. Monster Hunter Wilds. You're seeing the reception. You see the game. Did it change your perspective on buying it today? Did you want to buy it? Did it sway you in any way when you saw those numbers, the amount of people playing it, maybe some of the optimization you saw? Did you want to go the extra mile to play it and put in that extra work to get it to run well? What are your thoughts about this, Josh?
Um, so yeah, 8 million is great. I think they also announced this is their fastest selling game ever in
Mm-hmm.
like Capcom history.
Yep.
And so yeah, it's great for the Monster Hunter series because it used to be a time it was stuck on the 3DS and uh, didn't nobody want to buy it. Well, I mean, people bought it, but they were unhappy because it was stuck on the 3DS. And so yes, this world moving it to consoles, moving it to PC has just shown way more success for them. And yeah, the game looks good. And I've been seeing a lot of people talking about it. And I was, on the fence. I was thinking about pulling the trigger the other day, but I decided not to because it is a time consuming game, and I don't have that much time uh, right now. But also, all of the issues that I've seen, that has been the biggest deterrent for me. Because like
Mm.
I played Dragon's Dogma at launch, and I know what type of issues that they have. That being a single player game, I was able to stomach a little bit more. Hey, uh, you know, I'm willing to tweak the graphics every now and then, or maybe download a mod or two to fix it. But
Mm-hmm.
Monster Hunter, like it being a multiplayer game, like I really just want the experience to be good and consistent across the board. But like all the glitches going on,
Mm-hmm.
all the performance issues you have, the changes that they made to like the matchmaking and stuff like that, everything is giving me the vibe that this is a buy later game because it's not giving what I want for a let me do the pricing for y'all. So this game does not have regional pricing. Regional pricing on PC, if y'all don't know, is if the game is $60 in whatever region, uh let's say the US.
Yeah.
When you go somewhere else to like Europe or um Chile or something like that, it will be your equivalent of what it is. So it won't be necessarily $60, but let's say it's 60% of $100, right? It
Okay.
will be your currency's equivalent of that. So it will scale based on your currency. Or what some companies can do is like, no, our game is $60, and whatever your currency conversion rate is, it will be $60 equivalent. But usually, what that means is people are paying more depending on where they live because their currency is worth less in the U.S. Blah blah blah. So, anyways, this is a Ichiman, which is a 10,000 yen, or AKA $100 game.
Oh wow.
I'm paying $100 for a game that has graphical glitches where the textures disappear, or the monsters don't have textures, or I'll walk into a new environment and I lose 70 frames. So that is a big motivator for me to wait because I don't want the experience of the game to be soured by the poor performance. I think a lot of PC players, especially, will are willing to take the risk, especially with like the refund policy for Steam. They're willing to, jump in for an hour or two, play with a friend, see what the game is like, and then jump back out if it's not worth it. And just yeah, just in general, PC players they complain a lot, but they're also the people who will tweak the game. Like I want to play the game, I'm gonna give it a bad review, but I'm still gonna play it. I'm still gonna mod it so that I get the experience. I
Mm-hmm.
think there's just a cultural uh, behavior of like players. But yeah, for me, I'm not paying that much for this game to run janky. And plus, from what I've seen, just like the main story progression, the main story is not that long, but it has a lot of issues that maybe they could like tweak or patch or just improve. So I think in 6 months, the experience will be a lot better because they did fix Dragon's Dogma 2 for the most part, and yeah, it took about 6 months for them to smooth out all the like performance issues that it was having. So I'm hoping that they do the same thing for this, and I'll hop in then. And
Mm.
plus, I don't have any friends who are gonna buy the game right now, so it's gonna be a single player experience.
What about you, Jalen? I know you got some friends that want to play. You copping on that PS5 of yours, or that Xbox Series X?
You mean a Crash Box Series X?
Whichever one, man. I don't care which one you want to play.
Multiverse. Turn off on me. I'm like, all right. I'm like, okay. But nah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna get that game, man. I still did.
Is the pressure on, or is it ain't nobody asking you about it?
I ain't no pressure, bro. I'm good. Ain't nobody ask about it, so I'm just, I consider it, but I ain't finna go up my way to go get it.
Yeah.
I thought he fought it.
Nah, man, I'm doing pretty well. Pretty well. They don't need our dollars. They definitely don't need our dollars. That is 100% for sure. They out here moving and shaking and moving. And like I said, it definitely tells me a different story to the amount of complaints I see online about PC optimization, because that tells me plenty. If I'm looking at a game that runs bad and it's still topping the charts on Steam, tells me everything I need to know. Because definitely it's about 80% of those folks don't have a higher. It's like mid-range GPUs, mid-range PC builds, and it's like there's not that many people that actually can run that game pretty well right now out there. So seems pretty interesting that it's doing so well. Tells me a different story about how people actually treat optimization. Maybe I'm just crazy, but I know what Josh said. Josh said that's just the nature, but I don't know, man. They a little weird to me. That's a little weird to me. But okay. Let's move on. Split Fiction. Anybody had their eyes on this? I had my eyes on it. I was only reason is because me and my wife really liked playing It Takes Two. She was bad at it, but it was like one of those COVID. Yeah, we was playing during COVID. So I remember it pretty clearly. We was stuck in the house anyway, couldn't go nowhere. So that was the game that we was playing. I know Split Fiction is one of those games again that kind of builds off of all that stuff, and adds a new story. But basically, the gameplay is what was pretty much the money maker, because I know that game did pretty well and actually won Game of the Year, I believe, that year too. So pretty insane for an indie game. But they coming. My man's is coming back out. The F-bombs himself. I don't remember his name. Joseph something. But he's back with another game, and it's coming out pretty soon here. Is anybody else interested in their games? Did anybody play It Takes Two outside of moi? Joseph Ferris, that's his name.
I played some of it with my nephew, but that's about it.
Okay.
No, I didn't play It Takes Two. I did play A Way Out.
A Way Out, yeah.
And I think overall, these games are pretty good. Like, there are not a lot of like co-op, like story-based games, or like games built from the ground up to be played co-op anymore. Like what was that old series? Xbox 360 had a bunch of them, but yeah, it was just a bunch of games during that time that were made to be played co-op. And so it's nice to have that, because there's always a partner who you can play with, a significant other, a sibling, or just a friend, and have a unique experience. So that aspect of it is attractive, and plus they're very consumer friendly with giving out the like second player code, so you don't have to buy 2 copies of the game.
Yep.
That's a very big draw for me. So like, hey, if I want to buy it day one, or even if I pick it up at some point later on the sale, I don't have to worry about like buying 2 copies for somebody. Like, that's I can't expect every game to do that, but also I want every game to do that. So
yeah. No, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
because they even did it now with crossplay, so you don't even have to be on the same system. That's insane. So
but overall, the new game, Split Fiction, it looks good. Like, I like the aesthetics. I know it's going to be a lot of different environments, but I like the style that it has sci-fi and it has fantasy. So I'm looking forward to it. I don't know if I'll play it right now. I know it is a cheaper game, so it just depends. I'm gonna have to see what my wife's schedule's looking like, but maybe we'll play it together.
Yeah, I already told my wife to. I said, ready up. Get your sticks. Get the sticks. She was like, please don't make me do this again. I said, we doing it again. I said, it's time, baby. It's time to, I remember I live streamed it, and one of my nieces was watching it, and she was like, who is that other person playing? I was like, my wife? What you mean? She said, oh my gosh, she was terrible. And I was dying laughing because I'm like, listen, I can't control how she play on the sticks, man. She got to learn somehow. Every time I ask her to play a game with me now, she always bringing that up. I was like, listen, you gonna have critics out there, man. You just gotta keep going. But yeah, it's definitely gonna be one of those games where I'm like, who is the easier person to play with? Because I'm gonna give you that person. I don't think it's gonna be an easier one. I think the puzzles and everything got a little bit more elaborate, so it might be just a fun time to watch her play that game anyway. So we'll see. I think it's like 12 to 13 hours or something like that. It's not a long game, but I think it's cool that we're gonna that there is some dedicated games out there for this co-op action. So I'm looking forward to it. Comes out pretty soon, March 6th. So the day after this, y'all see this, it's gonna be up and ready to play. So get ready. It's gonna be fun. Is it 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on the 6th? Yeah. So pretty cool for sure. And again, it is reviewing well, so people are enjoying it a lot. It's not one of those games where we're just happy because they're hitting a certain genre. They're actually making great games with it too. So check it out if you haven't already. But let's move on to our next topic. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4. Did anybody play the Tony Hawk series? And please say y'all at least tried it, man. Please. Y'all get on my nerves with this. Y'all was too busy with that Kingdom Hearts. Did y'all play or try Tony Hawk's at all? Either one of you.
I played a little bit on the. Let me make sure I got the right one. Hold up. I think I played the bad version. Yeah, Tony Hawk Pro Skater on the Dreamcast and Pro Skater 2. But I know the PlayStation versions were better. But I played them. They were fun. I just never was into skating, but the games were fun enough at least that I was enjoying like playing.
Yeah, I remember the yellow cartridge Nintendo 64 version that was Pro Skater 2. That was one of my favorite games. It's just one of those things where it's always been good to kind of go back. I'm waiting for them to redo the Underground series, which I think that's going to be really fun. But I don't know if they can even get all the stuff they did. But they brung back a lot of the music and all that stuff too for 3 and 4. So it really was. Go check it out. They just dropped it today. And it's officially been revealed, and it is coming to Game Pass day one. So you will be able to play it through your Game Pass subscription if you have that, which tells me basically that anything Activision makes is probably going to be thrown in that Game Pass subscription. They are really taking a big gamble here. I really don't want people to lose jobs, but I understand they got plenty of money, so it ain't like I'm tripping. But it does feel like we ain't gonna start recouping. But maybe Game Pass, maybe the plan is that because the Xbox market is shrinking so much and it's stuck to Game Pass, Game Pass is stuck to like the PC and Xbox, where people on PC don't really want to buy games, and then people on Xbox, the install base is low. Maybe they don't care. Maybe that's the reason, But it's just like Game Pass getting everything. It's cool, makes it feel like it's a great buy, but at the same time, you're like, dang, are y'all gonna hopefully recoup what you paid for to make this game? And I'm assuming it's not that much because it's a remaster, but it just does get concerning when you're putting everything in it, and there's no like mixture here. But I don't get paid to think about that. I just get paid to not do this. But this is interesting to me. It's interesting to me for sure. But Game Pass. Will anybody try this outside of I?
Nah. I like I said, I think games are fun, but I actually I don't know. I did more skateboarding in Sonic games than I did in Tony Hawk.
Oh
And
my god.
And
Oh my goodness.
not a bad choice, Sonic.
It's enjoyable, but I wouldn't like I don't know what the progression is like. Like I just went in the arena and I did tricks, so I don't know
Yeah.
what the game is. Like what's the goal? Like, what I'm gonna do for
You
20 hours.
just do you do a bunch of different stuff. But yeah, I get you. It ain't for everybody, and that's the beauty of games. Everybody got their own thing. But Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 coming out July 11th. I'm looking forward to it. I'm already on 1 and 2 on 3 consoles. I don't know why I do. I own it on Steam. I own it on my PlayStation. I think. Oh no, PlayStation gave it away for free. I think Xbox just put it in Game Pass for free, and I bought it solely. No, I bought it twice. I had to. I don't know where else I bought it, but I bought it twice. And I liked it. Like I said, it's the only reason I bought it twice is because I wanted to play it on my Steam Deck, and it worked really well. And it's still a great time. I'm expecting this one to be just as performative because this is another Switch game as well. So it's not as if they're targeting new specs or anything. It's just bringing in Tony Hawk's 3 and 4 into the limelight again. So I'm expecting this to run as well, just as good as the 1 and 2 on the Steam Deck. So looking forward to playing that handheld. I think these games are great. I think they really are fun and a blast, and can't wait to play it. So yeah, that's all I got. Oh, that's why I bought it. I bought it on Steam because I couldn't use the Game Pass version on Steam, and then I got it from my PlayStation as well. So they gave it away for free later, but I bought it on PlayStation originally. That's how I know I bought it twice. Okay, but yeah. Anyways, 3 and 4 coming out soon. I think that it's going to be pretty awesome. Anything to add to that before we move on? Since y'all some Tony Hawk's haters, I guess. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of crazy.
No, I was just trying to think about what other Activision series could they like
Spyro, Crash Bandicoot. They can do like.
Well, Crash is back already, and then they do a Spyro.
They did do remakes for Spyro. They can, if they want to do Skylanders, they can do that. If they want to do Guitar Hero, they can do that. But that's like licensing stuff. I'm pretty sure they like. Nah, we cool.
Hang on.
Yeah. Nah, we cool. We don't want to go down that rabbit hole again, messing with those music execs. But yeah, really, they have like I don't know. They have like other stuff, but they can put out. But it was Skylanders. They can do that if they want to. I forget the other ones, but they got plenty of games. I'm just forgetting them. 100%.
Yeah, no, I'm looking. They had a lot of like collaboration games like Spider-Man and stuff like that, but the industry has changed a lot, so they don't got those anymore. But I mean, Activision has a lot of games that I used to play, so I would want to see them make a return and put it through Game Pass on a smaller budget. Would be good for a lot of series. Like not everything needs $500 million.
Yeah, for sure. No, for sure. But yeah, I'm looking forward to playing this, and I think that
But
it's gonna be
prototype.
exciting. Gonna be exciting. Let's move on though. Let's move on. Moving on. Moving on. Um, Assassin's Creed Shadows. Um, am I the only one excited about this game? Has any of the new gameplay or information swayed y'all's opinion on the Shadows or Assassin's Creed as a whole?
Man, I'm still stuck on Unity, bro, and that was 11 years ago.
Jesus Christ, can you get that hate up out your heart? It's been too long.
Man,
Get that hate up out
hard,
your
bro.
heart, G. You gotta let it go. You gotta let it
And I
go.
played Assassin's 1, 2,
Let it
and
go.
then I played Unity, and I was just like, nah, bro, that ain't it.
You gotta let that hate go, man. He been talking about Unity since I met you. I think that's what you bought it. Hey,
Yeah,
gee Louise. I
that
thought,
ain't it.
But yeah, I haven't been looking at a lot of the preview media just because like I feel like I rather see the game like hands on
mm-hmm.
to get a full impression of it. But from what I've seen, it all actually looks very good, and I was interested in it, and I'm excited for it. But I would say my hesitations are just dealing with Ubisoft. One, like how did they mess it up?
Yeah.
What type of microtransaction BS is going to pop up in the game once you actually buy it, or maybe they didn't do all that because I mean I think Star Wars Outlaws was okay, but
Yes,
they
it
they
was.
might push it super hard on this game. And then it's an Assassin's Creed game, and I'm worried about the Assassin's Creed aspect of the story, but as far as like the characters and the gameplay and their personal stories, that actually looks good. It's just all the anime stuff that I don't care about anymore. So that's actually why I would hesitant on it. Not because the game looks bad, it's just because the overall story. But yeah, it looks good. I like the environments and the exploration, and they all I've been seeing clips of the girl. I forgot her name, but like her stealth and parkour skills look very interesting. Because she has like the rope that you can use to climb up stuff. You can swing. Just the animations on the parkour, like the jumping and rolling and dodging that she does, looks very good. I haven't watched too much of the combat because that doesn't matter as much to me. Like as long as it's serviceable, I will do the combat, but I might focus more on the sneaking because now they've added more systems to make the sneaking better. Because that Assassin's Creed, like you would, I guess, climb up buildings, hide in like barrels or stuff like that. But they didn't have like a lot of stealth elements other than hiding in bushes. But like now you can go prone, you can like push up against walls. So it feels a little bit more like Metal Gear or like Splinter Cell ish mechanics. So if those are good and it feels satisfying to sneak through these environments, I'll just play mostly Stealth. Obviously, you gotta fight some bosses, so I'll do that. But that's just what's been interesting to me. What about you, Dion? They got your monies.
They gonna get it. Yeah, they gonna get it. And I would wait, but honestly, I want to play it because I know this game gonna be like $30 and like by the end of the middle of the summer, it'll probably be cheap. But I am gonna go ahead and buy it day one and try it out. And if I mean obviously if performance is good, because I am gonna buy it on my PC. Um, so my expectations is for it to be a solid experience. Um, Honestly, the combat is what sold me. I was looking at it and I thought this looks a lot more fluid and a lot more universe. Like it's like more rounded in like the style of the game of the fights and more like one-on-one combat versus kind of having like these constant barrage of enemies coming at you. I like Yosuke. and Noe's. I think her name is Noah, something. And I like both of their combat styles. I like her whip or her chain, like sickle, something like that. It looks like a small sickle with a chain on it. Anyway, she looked really cool to play with. I like the fact that I don't have to. I can go into the options and choose not to deal with their. I don't know if I wouldn't want to call it simplistic, but there are RPG elements of where you got dialogue and you get to pick an option. I don't care to do that at all in games most of the time. It's like I'm just interested in telling the story that you want to tell me. So I like the fact that I can turn it off. I don't have to like actually engage with the story and like make decisions because I just don't feel like they're very beneficial. Maybe that's a difference in this game, but for most games that I've played with those types of mechanics from Ubisoft, they don't mean anything. So just tell me the canon story that you want to tell me. So I love the fact that they're giving people options. I like the fact that they tried to revamp the engine. I think the Anvil engine has been pretty stale for a very long time. I do like the dynamic weather effects. I do like the style of the game and how it looks. How it looks more dense than it normally does. Like I don't like the pre-generated look of the Assassin's Creed games. This did not feel pre-generated, if that makes sense. Like somebody went in there with their hands and actually did something. Now I'm not saying that it's gonna look throughout the entire game, but at least the snippets that they have shown, it doesn't look like as if it's just a pre-generated world. Because every time I went into a different area, a different place, I just kept feeling like I've seen that asset before. I've seen that log before. I've seen that thing before. I didn't feel like that when I was watching the gameplay. And that's just probably the unique setting. But those are the things that are really making me want to say, yeah, I'll give you my money, Ubisoft. I feel like y'all actually did a lot of things that will make me happy. And plus, I've literally been deliberately not trying to play Ghost of Tsushima again and other games that like samurai based because I want this to be the game that I play and put my like effort into, and then I go back to those games and kind of compare. Because I literally, if I'm getting fatigued on those games, I want to play a game like that, and this is the game I'm dedicating my time to. I'd rather not play those games pretty closely. So I haven't went back and touched Ghost of Tsushima again. I didn't want to buy Rise of Ronin. I didn't want to buy. I definitely wanted to play this before I play Yotai. So there's one of those types of things that I'm just kind of like I want to give it the space to breathe because I'm not gonna lie, I liked Star Wars Outlaw. It was, but I didn't play it the way they wanted me to play. I did not spend too much time in that game, but I enjoyed it for what it was, and yeah, they had a few they didn't. I don't remember. They didn't have any like character choices, but they had like things that you do to determine who, if you want to be nice to someone or be bad to someone. And reputation wise, it was a little bit different. No, in Outlaw, like they didn't have dialogue sections that would change necessarily the story being told, but like who's going to help you in certain situations, things like that. So I found their canon story to be good, and I would think the same with Assassin's Creed Shadows. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to the combat, and I'm looking forward to seeing how revamped the world looks. And I really hope that they do succeed in that because I do like an optimized engine. I do think that their engine is pretty decent. I don't think that it's the worst thing. I don't think it's the best thing, but at least it works well. And when I'm playing an Assassin's Creed game, I don't feel like I'm having performative issues. Anywhere. I haven't had issues on the consoles. I don't think I had issues on this. There is some glitches. Remember those flying boats in Valhalla? But my expectation is for this to be a little bit more well-rounded because they took the extra time to kind of, they had to because they didn't want to mess it up. So I'm hoping that the extra time and the polish that it shows me really resonates with everyone else to kind of give it the benefit of the doubt. Because it is a tough time for Ubisoft. I'm not saying that they don't deserve it. I'm just saying that, sometimes you you get to a space where you're kind of a little too big for your own britches, and you kind of have to reinvest into your technology and reinvest into the things that really that the players want to see. And I think that they did that a lot with this one. So hopefully it pays off, because if it doesn't, it's gonna be real bad for Ubisoft. Real bad. So that's why I'm gonna go ahead and do my little 100 points, get my 20% off on that Ubisoft store. So I don't want to buy it on Ubisoft store. I think it's on Steam too. I'm not sure, but I get 20% off on the Ubisoft. I get 20% off on the Ubisoft store, so I'm probably gonna buy it there. I'm not the biggest launcher hater, because I use Play-Night. I don't really use Steam anyway, to kind of do full screen, because I just think it's a better approach to bringing all the games together. So I'm not really too pressed to have it in Steam, but I know others would be like, "You crazy? I would never touch that Ubisoft store." Like, yeah, I get it. I get it. I guess. But me, I don't care. So I'm new to the PC market, guys. But yeah, that's where I'm at with it. Hopefully, it does well. I'm hoping that it does, because I know that they kind of need it for sure. It's not saying not to be hard on them, because if the game suck, the game suck. But to give it a shot, I think that's more important than anything. I don't think we should just rag on a game because it says Assassin's Creed. Jalen.
I was literally gonna say, boy, yeah, man, you right, bro. You made good points, bro. I ain't forgot about Unity, man, but I feel like they've been trying. I think.
No, they haven't. Not with Valhalla. They've been trying with this one. I feel like this is the one that I can't see them trying to. They can't really trick us now. Everybody's pretty upset. Like Valhalla had that approach of, we're going back to our roots. We're gonna be able to hide. We're gonna be able to do these things. You're gonna be able to be sneaky, and none of it worked, because most of the time you would just get caught, or they wanted you to fight because you were a freaking Viking. So I don't know why they lied to people, to be honest. But this one, it fits. You got two different types of approaches. They got the people that want to be bombastic and guns blazing like me, like Ghost of Tsushima. I was like, I'm a samurai. I ain't no ghost. I'm a samurai. I go ahead heads first every time. I'm not sneaking nothing. I told you I did that the whole time, but you got to get a player the choice. And I think that's what they're doing here. They're trying to get a player the choice. Now, Valhalla, they fumbled that. So I feel like, what I've been seeing has been good. And I'm hoping that they deliver. But you are 100%, you're fine in thinking that. Now, do I think if Unity, the Origins, was a good step in the right direction? Yes. But I don't think you tried Origins, so.
I know Josh liked the Odyssey, so.
Yeah.
But that was like, what, 2017, 18?
Yeah.
And nobody played Mirage, so.
Nope.
That was just the classic stealth.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that Best of Both Worlds gets it done. Hopefully. But we'll see. But I am gonna pick it up, because that's the game I'm holding out on to actually buy. Versus, because it's that first Berserker. It's so many games, man. Like I made a list because I knew I'm not gonna be able to get them all, and it sucks. But there's a lot of games that I want to play. And they're coming out soon. I'm talking. Well, we started off with February 4th with Kingdom Come Deliverance. I didn't want to play it, but I bought it. Avowed, and I like it. Avowed came out February 18th, like a Dragon Pirate, Yakuza. Like, I want to play the Pirate one February 20th, because that one doesn't have the RPG elements that I don't care about. Monster Hunter Wilds, I don't want to buy it, and I still probably don't want to buy it, but I feel like that's a game that, if anything, it would probably be y'all convinced me to get. But nobody bought it yet, so I'm in the clear on that one. Split Fiction, definitely buying. Obscure, that comes on Game Pass, but it's still a purchase because technically I bought Game Pass. So Expedition 33, I want to play that. I want to play Assassin's Creed Shadow, that come out the 20th, so between the 18th and then the 20th, there's 2 games that are going to be pretty big on my list to finish. First Berserker, March 27th. Atom Fall, March 27th. I think Atom Fall comes in Game Pass. I'm not 100% on that one. But maybe I'm going to skip that one because it might be one of those games like, I don't know. I liked Atomic Heart a little bit, but it wasn't like the greatest. But I'm still want to put Atom Fall on the list. But First Berserker for sure was something I wanted to buy. Grand Theft Auto 6. Doom Dark Ages, not buying it, but I bought Game Pass, so technically I did. Snake Eater. I definitely want to play it again, but I don't know if I want to play it day one. I got to rep my Borderlands 4. That's September 23rd. Death Stranding 2 might be just crazy, but I want to see that crazy on the big screen. Death Stranding 2, Dying Light, The Beast. I like a Dying Light. I wanted to try Jump Ship. I don't know if that's a price thing, but I will only play that with y'all. So if y'all don't buy it, I'm not buying it. Mafia: The Old Country. That one's like tough. I don't even know if it's coming out this year. Then we go into Ninja Gaiden 4, which is technically Game Pass again, but I bought Game Pass. Phantom Blade Zero, which is going to be on the PS5. And then I want to play Wu-Chang Fallen Feathers. And there's plenty of games that haven't been announced yet. But those are the ones that I was like, I'm gonna keep my eye on. I want to actually purchase or find some way to play. It's a lot. It's a lot of games, man. A lot of games coming out and a lot of big games in there, like big, long games. Like,
and I ain't hear no Pokemon on that list.
You won't hear any Pokemon. I didn't even add it to our topics, but we can definitely talk about it.
Man, you don't like the free battle mode they got on there, man?
The one thing that I liked about it was it was a game at the end. What was it? It was like battles where you basically just battle people. That was pretty decent. It was on your phone and on you can play it across a bunch of stuff. I thought it was pretty cool or decent. I thought that was like, yeah, cause I love Pokemon Stadium and stuff like that and battling my brothers. But that was the only game I ever played that was like that. All the rest of them, like actually buying a cord to plug up and fight each other, we ain't never had two Nintendo Game Boys or something. I'm like, this is not marketed for the broke folks, because I know for sure everybody didn't have their own Game Boy. Not in my household. It wasn't like that. But and your own copy too, because you couldn't play it unless you had your own copy. I'm like, who had this? Because when they was showing like the little commercial, no, I'm exposing my brokenness. But we was in poverty. I'm like, bro, I did not have 2 copies of Pokemon Yellow or something to go and play with somebody else. Now maybe a friend, but at the same time, the things are so expensive. My mom wouldn't even let me take it out the house. So it was like, no, I did not have that experience playing with other people until like the internet came around. And by the internet, I wasn't playing Pokemon, bro. So I don't know if y'all had different experiences because y'all was probably more into it and y'all wasn't playing Tony Hawk. So y'all had to be playing something. Was y'all going to the school with y'all, with y'all systems and y'all core?
It was in the field. I mean, no, honestly, I didn't have a lot of people that had like the link cable and trading and stuff like that. But I knew a lot of people that played Pokemon in it. If we could at some point get together and like found somebody who had a cable, we'll borrow theirs. But it was a lot of people around playing Pokemon. But yeah, finally a streamlined like Pokemon battle game, because they've released them before, like on GameCube and for the Wii, where it's literally just battles, so you could just play with other people. You don't got to do the RPG elements.
Right.
And those are fun. Those were fun to finally see the Pokemon in like 3D for the first time. But now, like we're already past that, and I think they're gonna have a whole lot of hoops to jump through to make sure it works well, because like there are over 1,000 Pokemon. And the game is supposed to be free to play, I think. So how are they going to make money? Like, are they going to sell rental tickets, or you going to buy the Pokemon? But then it also mentioned that it's going to connect to Pokemon Home, which is the Pokemon service that you can like move your Pokemon from one game to another.
Yep.
But like, how is that going to work? Like, do I need to buy a Pokemon game to get the Pokemon to transfer them into this game, and I think they're gonna mess that up because this is Pokemon Company, not even Nintendo. And Pokemon Company is even worse than Nintendo at like
Yeah.
network and online account stuff. So
So whatever you think the
I'm
worst
cautious
case
about it.
scenario is, you gotta double it for sure.
Yeah, you're gonna have to pay to transfer your Pokemon, and then it's gonna fail, and it's gonna delete your Pokemon. That's how it's gonna work.
Or
Yeah.
they gonna blacklist you because of you're trying to put a hacked Pokemon in Pokemon Home or something like that, and now you just can't use it. Serial ban.
Serial ban is crazy. Yeah, they gonna ban your phone, G. But yeah,
Then
that
you gotta
is.
go to customer service and call and see if they can review your inquiry and 7 to 10 business days get back to you and then provide proof that you ain't. You know what I'm saying? Just something crazy.
What I will say is the concept of being able to battle across different platforms and just jump in and play is a good idea. Execution
Yeah.
is where we're going to fall apart. And I thought that was the most interesting thing. But seeing PS2 version of Pokemon in 3D did not impress me. None of their packages or trade cards and like got growing me and going crazy for them. I just don't. That don't entertain me either. So really, I didn't have much to say on it. Nice, and I didn't want to talk badly on Pokemon because a lot of people love Pokemon. So if y'all did watch it and y'all did enjoy something, talk to me about it.
I didn't
Oh yeah,
watch
you go ahead,
anything.
Dylan.
I
Oh,
was
you
gonna
didn't watch
say
it?
I didn't watch anything and then just tagging on the execution thing. I just wanted to say like a quick snippet. I mean those who play Pokemon, I've been playing Pokemon since like the OG games, and I just always felt like they had like poor execution and unrealistic goals when it comes to playing Pokemon. So I think that's going to be transferable, and it's still going to be unrealistic because even now, just the whole separated between the versions and mystery gift Pokemon, certain events and things like that, they always made it basically impossible to get all the Pokemon without spending an excessive amount of money and then going through um, hoops and stuff in order to do this. So I just say all that to piggyback off what you said, and end with saying that I ain't got high hopes. So
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I do a quick summary. Pokemon Champions. That was the battle game we talked about. I'm interested in it. If they can execute it well, I'll play it. If it's trash, then I'm just ignore it. Like 90% of their other releases. Um, the Pokemon Legends game they announced.
Yep.
ZA. I
ZA.
thought it was a I thought it was a remake of what was that Gen 5 or 4. I forgot.
Mm,
Well,
I think it's supposed to be Gen 6 because I think you go back to Kalos, right?
Yeah,
Or
Lumino City, the 3DS game.
yeah, yeah.
So I thought it was a remake, but it's actually a Pokemon Legends game, like the Pokemon Arceus, where you run around and you throw the ball at Pokemon and catch them. And that part disappointed me because I liked Arceus because it was in a like open world, like wild experience. Even though they could have
yeah.
did the open world better, it felt like you can go on an adventure and like do it. But this
Mm,
one takes place in the actual city of Luminos City. One, I didn't even like that city that much during this generation, and two, it's like, why do I want to run around empty streets and catch Pokemon? And like the buildings are all empty and stuff like that. So it feels like to me like they wanted to continue the Legends idea, but they had no real good idea to do it. So they just picked a random generation and put it in the middle of the city. Like, don't get me wrong, it's a big city and it could be fun, but I feel like running around fake Paris is going to get more boring or more repetitive more quickly than like an open world like Pokemon game. So it feels like a step back, just the setting wise.
Oh,
And the last thing, oh yeah, go ahead, Jalen.
it's all in one city.
As far as what they shown, it's in the city and you can go up on the top of the buildings, but it doesn't like you leave the city at all. But it's
Mm.
only been one trailer. I don't know. They could have more details, but it looks like it takes place in Luminos City.
Mm.
mm, mm.
And like it's weird because like you run around the city and then you want to go to the top of the building. You don't even climb it or anything like that. It has like a jump pad and it like teleports you to the top of the building.
Interesting. Yeah, I didn't
But
watch
They
any of
changed the
it.
battle system too, right?
I think they might have improved it or made some changes. I don't know the whole details of the battle system, but yeah, it's the same battle system as Arceus.
Hmm.
'Cause they made it sound like you don't got no. It ain't turn based no more. It's just like free ish.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, looking at this environment was just disappointing. That's all. And last thing, they had a Pokemon cartoon. It's like a Pokemon hotel. My daughter's been watching it and she loves it because it's stop motion. And there's a season 2, so I will actually probably watch that. But that's all.
Mhm. Yeah, I did see that, and I thought it was pretty cool. I was like, that's surprising that they. It seemed like a lot of effort, but they always been super creative, um, over there, in regards to like kind of the I don't know when they kind of put stuff together. Even though I can rag on a trading card game, it was a reason why it got so big, it got so popular. They kind of put all the little extra details in that stuff to make it unique. But I did think the stop motion stuff looked cool. At least when I saw it,
Mhm.
and I think they actually put the season 1 on their YouTube for free or something like that, or maybe a
Oh
couple
yeah.
episodes or something like that. I think I saw.
Okay.
But yeah, okay. Um, anything else? Because I didn't have anything else on the docket. Anything I missed that y'all wanted to talk about?
Yeah. No, I feel like we hit everything. We not buying Monster Hunter until they fix it, I guess.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Yeah, they're Capcom is doing really well. You know, they actually are doing a pretty outstanding job when it comes to like money. I guess I feel like they also are doing really good when it comes to perception of the company. But yeah, you don't want to have too many of these misses in a row. I understand Wild's going to push through it because it's just like a strong IP everywhere. It's not just the U.S. So they're going to push through, but you don't want that to continue to be like the sentiment that your games don't operate well, especially when the RE engine
Yeah.
is really good for like Resident Evil games. Like I understand those are slow paced, single player, confined spaces, but it just feels like they need to
Yeah.
put a little bit more time and
It
invest
just
in that
struggles
engine.
with these open world games
Yeah,
that they're really pushing, unfortunately. But
yeah,
it's a nice looking engine. Like I can't wait to see what the next Resident Evil game looks like because it's
yeah,
gonna look amazing. But
yeah. No, I believe that for sure. They got a top Alan Wake, but yeah. But okay, that's pretty much it. That's all I got. I want to thank you guys for listening. As always, if you got to this part, you're the real OG. You can watch this on YouTube. You can check it out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Pandora, I believe. You can do it anywhere you want to be. We there. So I want to thank you for listening. As always, I appreciate you, and we will be back next week. More topics, more news, and more things to discuss. But as always, we'll talk to you in the next one. Peace.